Okay, Jose, there you go, thank you. Jose, you want to see number 4? So I've got cotangent squared theta minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so let's do this. Let's bring over the 3. Cotangent squared theta equals 3, right? Square root both sides, right? Square root. Now, we'll have a cotangent theta equals plus or minus the square root of 3. So now there's two answers. I'm going to break it up into a cotangent theta equals the square root of 3 and a cotangent theta equals negative square root of 3, right? I don't want cotangent because it's not on the unit circle. I want tangent, right? Make that 3 over 1, that negative 3 over 1. I don't want cotangent, I want tangent. So I'm going to flip it, right? When I flip cotangent, 1 over cotangent is tangent. So I'm going to go straight to tangent theta is equal to 1 over the square root of 3. And the same thing over here. I'll go ahead and flip it, make it tangent theta equals negative 1 over the square root of 3, okay? So then if I rationalize it, which of course, you know, right, square root of 3 over square root of 3, square root of 3 over the square root of 3, I'll wind up with tangent theta equals square root of 3 over 3 and tangent theta equals negative square root of 3 over 3. And I'll slow down for a second, let you catch up, okay? So all I did, really, the big trick to this whole thing was changing from cotangent to tangent, right? When I did that, then I'm able to find all the answers on the unit circle. Let's see, square root of 3 over 3 is at pi 6. Square root of 3 over 3 is at negative 5 pi 6. I'm at 7 pi 6. And I'm at 11 pi 6. How's that, Jose?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to see another?
6.
Let's see 6, okay? Okay, turn the page. I'll wait for you. Okay. Rose, you got it? Allie, you got it?
I'm getting it. Is that a negative 8?
That's a negative 5 right there.
Oh, 5.
Yeah. Where's the pass? Who's had the pass?
She's at Starbucks.
Colby? Alright.
She ran out.
I don't know. If you have to go, go fast. If it's an emergency, Quinn, if it's an emergency, go fast. Okay. 6. Sine squared theta equals 2 sine theta plus 3. Okay, I'm going to bring everything over because what I'm thinking about, if I did a little side work here, I'm thinking x squared equals 2x plus 3, and I'm thinking if I can make it x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0, I could factor that, right? So a little side note, right? If I think about this in terms of x's instead of sines, then I'll bring it over. So then what I have is a sine squared theta minus a 2 sine theta minus 3 equals 0, right? And again, if I look at my little x's instead of sines, it would factor, the x's would factor into x minus 3, x plus 1, right? If I just factor, doing the trinomial factoring. And then instead of x's, let's just do sines. So I'll do the same thing, but instead of x and x, I'll do sine theta minus 3 plus 1 equals 0, okay? And I just need to set them both equal to 0. Split them up, set them equal to 0. Totally right, Jose. Sine theta minus 3 equals 0, and sine theta plus 1 equals 0, right? Add 3. Sine theta is equal to 3. But I'm going to throw that away. Sine cannot be bigger than 1, right? Sine cannot be bigger than 1. Sine is the y value. You're on the unit circle, radius 1, so I throw that away, okay? Minus 1, sine theta is equal to negative 1. That is on the unit circle all the way down at 3 pi halves. So you only get one answer at 3 pi halves.
Wait, why couldn't you do the first one?
Yeah, so go to the unit circle. Sine's the y value, right?
Oh, because it's not art.
Yeah, so you can get up to
1,
1. You can't go beyond that, right? There's no value on the unit circle. Yeah.
8.
Harrison, love to 8. Okay. All right. Here we go. If you want it. You don't have to take it. Okay. Number 8, right? Okay, 8. We have a 1 plus a sine theta equals a 2 cosine squared theta. Okay, so sines and cosines is like x's and y's. You can't put the x's and y's together, so let's change it. I'm going to change my cosine squared. A little side note here. I know that cosine squared theta is equal to 1 minus a sine squared theta. A little identity. And that's on your identity sheet, okay? So what I'm going to do then is rewrite this as a 1 minus sine squared. I'm going to make my substitution. So I'll have a 1 plus sine theta equals 2 times my 1 minus sine squared theta, okay? And, I'll simplify, I'll distribute, right? So I have a 1 plus sine theta equals a 2 minus a 2 sine squared theta, okay? Now I've thought about this in terms of x's. If I had a 1 plus an x equals a 2 minus 2x squared, I would think, hey, maybe I need to factor. So I'd want to bring the 2x squared over plus my x, and I want to bring over my 2 over and have a negative 1, okay? So let's do the same thing. Instead of x's, let's just do it with sine. So I'm going to bring over the sine, 2 sine squared, and I'll have a positive 2 sine squared theta, because I'm going to bring that all over there. Plus, and I'll put a 1 here to make it easier to factor, plus a 1 sine theta. Left that. And then if I subtract the 2, I get a negative 1 equals 0. Okay? So I need to factor. Well, let me do a little algebra here with the x's. Probably 2x x minus 1 plus 1 will work. Okay, that would be factoring in terms of x's. That is a 1, so if you do your double smiley, positive 2x, negative 1, it does make you positive 1, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing, but with sine. So I'm going to go, okay, parentheses, 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 and I'm going to have to do a 2 sine theta with a sine theta. I'm going to go a minus 1 and a plus 1, okay? So, yeah, Jose, I'm going to break them 2 parts, right? So we'll go 2 sine theta minus 1 equals 0 and sine theta plus 1 equals 0, right? And if I bring over the 1, divide by 2, I'll have a sine theta equals 1/2. You okay with that? Added 1 divided by 2? Yeah, Rose like, yeah, easy, Mr. Davies. I know how to do that. And over here, sine theta equals negative 1, right? Okay, so unit circle. 1/2 for sine is at pi 6, right? Okay, 1/2 for sine is also at 5 pi 6. And negative 1 for the sine value is at 3 pi halves. And that is it. Okay. What else would you like to see? 10, definitely. Definitely 10. Allie, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, 10. All right. I was kind of thinking somebody'd ask for 10, maybe 9 and 10, huh? Let's do 10, and then I'll probably come back and do 9.
It's like the exact same one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. 10, I've got a cosine of 2 theta minus a cosine theta equals 0. Okay, so I'm going to use my double angle formula, okay? So I've got 3 choices on my double angle formula. Let me go ahead and find them. Yeah, here they are, okay. So let me make it so you can see it. So really I have 3 choices. I've got one that has cosine and sine, another that's got a sine in it, and the last one just a cosine. So I'm thinking just this one, because that's a cosine. If I can change this double angle formula and also to cosine, and everything's in terms of cosine. Does that make sense to you? I'd want to use this one. Hopefully that makes sense, because it'd match up with that cosine. So I have 3 choices for double angle. So let's change this to a 2 cosine theta minus 1. Okay. Okay. So I used my identity. And let me rewrite it and put it in order. Because I'm thinking a little side thing, I have like a 2. Oh, that should be a squared. My bad. That's a squared. It's like having a 2x squared minus 1 minus an x. If I put it as a 2x squared minus an x minus a 1, I could factor. So I'm just going to rewrite it, put it in order so I can factor it, okay? So I'll go a 2 cosine squared theta minus a cosine of theta minus 1 equals 0. And this is pretty darn similar to the one we just got done factoring. It really is. It would factor algebraically 2x plus 1 minus 1. If I factor it in terms of x's, but if I factor it in terms of cosines, it's going to be a 2 cosine theta plus 1 minus 1, right? I got my two little parts, so I'm going to go, okay, 2 cosine theta plus 1 equals 0, and cosine theta minus 1 equals 0. So I'm setting both equal to 0, right? Okay, I have it factored, set them both equal to 0, and then solve, right? So I'll bring over the 1 and divide by 2. So I have cosine theta equals a negative 1 over 2, right? Bring over the 1, I'll have cosine theta equals 1, okay? So cosine of negative 1/2. Cosine is the x value for negative 1/2 is at 2 pi thirds. Theta 1 is 2 pi thirds. Where else does it equal negative 1/2? At 4 pi thirds. Okay? Cosine is the x value. That happens only one spot, and that's at 0. Okay? Or 2 pi, but it's just 0. Okay? Let's do you want to do 9? Let's do 9. Okay. Anybody want this? No? There you go. Sorry. Quinn probably needs this. There you go. Sorry, Quinn. I don't mean to burn. I'm just, you and I do this. Quinn likes to watch, listen, process.
Does he though?
Right? Yes. And then he looks at it later. Right? Right? Yeah.
What about the number 8 worksheet?
Okay. Number 9. Right?
I think
2 sine 3 theta minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so let's just solve. First of all, let's just basically solve. So add the 1, divide by 2, so sine of 3 theta equals 1/2. Okay, now just a visual, okay? I'm going to have 3 sine curves, right? I'm going to have 3 sine curves. So it looks something like this. 1, 2, 3. I squeezed them in, okay? Lousy picture, very horrible drawing, but we get the idea because there really are going to be 1, 2, 3 answers with a height of 1/2. And then, Ryan, the other ones, right? 4, 5, 6. The difference between each answer is 2 pi thirds. It really is, right? So 2 pi thirds, 2 pi thirds. So, okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to have, first of all, sine inverse of 1/2. So sine inverse of 1/2 is at pi 6. So we get 3 theta equals pi 6. And where else it equals 1/2 is 5 pi 6. We get 3 theta equals a 5 pi 6. Okay? Right? Divide by 3. I get theta equals pi 18ths. Okay, so that's that first answer. Is it pi 18ths, right? Divide by 3. Theta equals 5 pi 18ths. Okay, then that's that answer. That's 5 pi 18ths. So if I needed all 6 answers, okay, there's theta 1, there's theta 2. So if I need theta 3, I'm just going to jump ahead 2 pi thirds, right? So theta 3 is going to be my pi 18ths plus 2 pi thirds. And if I needed another angle, I jump another 2 pi thirds, right? Which is like going 4 pi thirds. So I say theta 5 is like pi 18ths plus a 4 pi thirds, because that takes me to there. Okay, here's my pi 18ths. Jump ahead 2 pi thirds. Jump ahead another 2 pi thirds. You can see that, right? And here, let's get the other two answers. So I got theta 4 is my 5 pi 18ths plus, that's right there, 5 pi 18ths. I jump ahead, okay, which is another 2 pi thirds. Okay, and then theta 5 is my 5 pi 18ths plus a 2 pi thirds plus another 2 pi thirds. Yeah, which is like going to be, yeah, theta 6. 5 pi 18ths plus a 4 pi thirds, okay? Now, if you want to add these and get a common denominator, I think that'd be beautiful and wonderful, and I'll show that. Oh, we're going to run out of time. I'm not going to be able to show that. But if you want to get a common denominator and make that a single answer, that'd be beautiful. I'd be so happy if you made that into 18ths, and added it to be a single 18ths, okay? All right, so tomorrow,